In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to start an LLC with Northwest Registered Agent. It's very easy to do, and if you'd like to follow along, you can click the link in the description or the pinned comment, and you'll get taken to a very unique page that looks like this. You can get a $39 business formation service to form your LLC, corporation, or nonprofit today. So upon landing on that page, simply click on the blue Get Started button right here. So before I begin, I do want to let you know that I am not a lawyer, and even if I was, I wouldn't be your specific lawyer. I am a guy who's just opened a couple of LLCs, and I want to give you my information and opinion when it comes to getting started. Plus, I'm even going to show you a way that you can save money when going through this process, okay? So let's go through it. What type of business would you like to start? Given the fact that we're looking for an LLC, let's go right there. Where would you like to form your business? For me, I am going to be in Florida, so make sure you put your state in there. And keep in mind that the filing fees that come with it are going to differ from state to state. So you might put your state in there and it might be different from 125. In fact, it probably is. Could be a little bit less, could be a little bit more, but I do want to just let you know that, okay? Let's click on continue and go to the next page. All right, so tell us a few things about your company. What would you like your business name to be? Ideally, you're probably going to know what this is right off the bat, or if you need some help when it comes to figuring it out. I like using a play on words. As an example, what I usually use here is that anytime I'm talking about this, my channel is Marketing Island. So you see I connected it M with the island and put a Z for that. It's just spelled a little bit differently. So I like doing that, improper spelling, combining words to kind of make it more unique. All right, you can send a copy of lawsuits and legal notices to your attorney. If you don't have one, you can just do no. This is going to be your business purpose. So if you're not completely sure exactly what you're going to be doing, like you don't have a great way to explain it, you can always just use a generic business purpose, okay? Physical address you want to record with the state, you could use their registered agent address, you can use yours, or you can specify one. And the same thing with the mailing address you want to record with the state. The cool thing about this is that when you click on this, it says the principal office address is a relic of ancient times when you had file cabinets full of very important corporate paperwork. Now that we have things called computers, who would have thought, and files that can reside wherever you are, the quote-unquote principal address is a pointless requirement that no one will ever have time or inclination to clean up in corporate statutes. We allow our clients to list our local office address as the principal office address on public records. We're the only incorporation service that does so. So that's a nice little benefit. With that in mind and everything that's been stated there, like I would personally just go with that one there for the registered agent address. So it's really going to be up to what you want to choose there, but that's going to be my thoughts. Let's click on continue. All right, so now we have management type right here. If we go here, so an LLC can either be member managed or manager managed. So members are the LLC owners, and most small business LLCs choose to be member managed. Like for me, I am going to be member managed. This is the simplest structure and easiest to understand. This gives the owners ability to make any and all decisions for the LLC. Now, if it's just going to be you and you know that it's just going to be you, you're most likely going to be going with that option. On the other hand, in a manager-managed LLC, the members or owners can only elect who the managers will be. The managers have the right to bind the company and make decisions. This is a very useful structure for owners of companies that are doing the day-to-day operations. This allows your operations manager or someone you designate of authority in your company to have full rights to go open company bank accounts or do very important things that a manager might need to do for you. So a manager-managed LLC is also a great way for a trustee to manage the activities of an LLC that is owned by investors. So if you're expecting to be much bigger than just you're going to have more people in there, you're going to want to have a manager, you're going to want to have team members and so on and so forth, you might be leaning more towards that one. But usually this is going to be pretty clear cut. If it's just you at the time, you're a solopreneur, then you're probably just going to want to go with the member managed. Okay, so you should have a good idea of what you're going to be doing there. List members, managers with the state right here. You can list with the state or you can omit from the state. I would recommend list. I will give you the difference here as they talk about it. So many financial institutions require the name and addresses of persons authorized to manage the LLC be listed on the state's records in order for the business entity to open a bank account. So that's going to be very important. So the downside, if you want to omit it, there is going to be like the pros and cons as it talks about. It is going to be more private if you omit, but here's your big but. You may have trouble opening a bank account. If you choose to omit, we are often required by law to have this information on file. Don't worry though, if you choose to admit, your name will not appear on the state records and we do not disclose or sell your information to anyone. So that's going to be the caveat there, is that if you do, go through the process of being private, you might have trouble opening a bank account. So you can list it and not be as private and have an easier way of, say, opening up a bank account, or you can be more private and have a little bit more difficulty. For me personally, probably just list with the state, but it is going to be up to you. So after that, this is just going to be specifically for you, so you can do your name and of course the address to record with the state, most likely going to be the one that you used previously. So enter in your first name, your last name. If you have more members, you can do that there, but if not, simply click on continue. All right, and we have our contact details. You don't need any help here. Simply enter in this information. When you're done, click on continue. Another easy one where you want to form your account, add in your email address and simply make sure that you create a password that simply, fills these requirements. When you're done, click on continue and I'll see you in the next page. All right, now we go to some optional upgrades. You can get a business identity, so you get a free business domain name for 1 year plus 90-day free trials for a website, email, and phone number. Your website, email, and phone number are each $9 a month after the free trials end. Keep all services active and get a bulk 20% discount for a combined monthly payment of just $21.60. So this is really going to be up to you. I have a lot of expertise when it comes to websites, hosting, and stuff like that. In my personal opinion, I think that there are going to be better options when it comes to doing this. Northwest Registered Agent is fantastic when it comes to creating LLCs, but given my knowledge of, website hosting and other things, I do think that you can get better deals. It is going to be up to you if you want to do it, or you can just simply go a la carte, but that decision is ultimately going to be up to you. If you do have any questions about alternates that you can use when it comes to getting website hosting, simply leave a comment down below, but I'm just going to keep it as is right now and click on continue. Once again, we have some more optional items, and this is where I can actually save you a bit of money here. So a tax ID is otherwise known as an EIN, which you are going to need. Now, here's the cool thing. If you want to get it on Northwest Registered Agent and you have a social, it's going to be $50. If you don't have a social, it's going to be $200. However, if you just want to get it for free, follow along with me here. So this is going to be a website that I'm going to put down below, and if I do Control F for find and type in free as it's already there, it says use this tool to get an EIN directly from the IRS in minutes for free, so you don't have to pay anything extra. Like I said, this is also going to be a tutorial that can help you save money, and this is the official irs.gov website. So if you scroll down right here, it says get your EIN straight from the IRS in minutes, you can apply. What I recommend doing is getting your LLC from Northwest Registered Agent, and when you are done, after you are done, simply go ahead and apply for your EIN. This is going to be free. It's going to save you money. It's not going to take too long, and it's just something I wanted to make sure that you were aware of, okay? So something else I do want to address is that sometimes people will say, well, how come if people can get it for free, they have the option to pay for it? Well, it's also at the same time that it's more of a done-for-you service. Not a lot of people realize that you can get it for free, and even if they did, they might not want to have to deal with just setting anything up. I understand the idea of wanting to get something completely done for you for free. You don't have to worry about it. You want to worry about building and creating your business. So that is probably a big reason why it is there. So I would recommend that if you want to just do it for free, you can do that, but feel free to go that route if needed. There's going to be the ability to add an S corporation election with the IRS. That's going to be $100 here. And this is an S Corp is a tax designated granted by the IRS that can be advantageous for some businesses. If you elect for it, your company will be taxed differently and will be required to meet and maintain certain requirements. The S Corp election is pursued most often by LLCs. We can prepare and obtain your S Corp election from the IRS. And this is something you could always elect for later. Like I said, I am not a lawyer. I'm just kind of giving my opinion. S Corp is going to have a much bigger benefit if you're going to be in a different, say, income bracket, right? If you're starting to make more money, my ballpark would be around like 100,000 or so. I remember when I first opened up an LLC, I started just with an LLC, and then as I got bigger and broader and I made more money, like the S Corp made much more sense. So right off the bat, you probably don't need to do this. If you want to look into it more and get more opinions, you can do that, but that is just my personal opinion, okay? We also have a premium mail service. So if you want to do like mail forwarding or virtual offices, if you want anything with this, it's going to talk about how much it costs. So $20 a month for premium mail forwarding. If you want a virtual office right here for $29 a month. So if you want something like that, you can do that. Trademark service, if you are going to be needing a trademark, you're probably going to know right away if you do or don't. So I'm not going to go over that. It's pretty self-explanatory. And if you want a DBA, which is a do business as, name or assumed name. It's like a pseudonym for your business that allows you to do business under a different name without forming a new business entity. These trade names do require additional filing, and we can do this for you at $125 plus state fees. So if that's something you need, once again, a lot of these are mostly self-explanatory, and along with the tax ID, like I talked about, you can get for free. So if there's anything you need, you're probably going to know it. So feel free to check off the ones that you might need, and if you're good, simply click on the continue button. Alright, and we made it to the final page right here. So obviously this is going to be on you to do. I can't enter in payment information, but if you look on the right, you're going to see everything that's going on right here. So you have the basic package. So using my link, remember it's only going to be $39. The processing fee, as we talked about previously, this is going to differ from state to state. Could be less, could be a little bit more, could be identical, depending on where you are. There's also compliance filing that I want to talk about. Ultimately, where it says right here, we charge no initial fees to enroll in the service. Then 90 days after your business's compliance filing is due, we will send you an online notification of the upcoming deadline. 5 days later, we will automatically file your business's compliance report and charge your card the required state fees. These vary by state once again, plus $100 for a compliance filing service. If you ever decide you want to cancel this automatic compliance filing service, you can do so in your online account at any time. So pretty much it's going to be a little bit more done for you type of thing, where this is what I talked about previously. Some people just don't want to go in and create their own EIN number. They want, say, another company like Northwest Registered Agent to handle it for them. This is going to be another example of how they can do that. So just keep in mind, if you ever decide you do want to cancel it, you can do it in your online account at any time. And what you'd be looking at here is going to be the total. So depending on where you are, depending on what you added and what you picked, that can differ once again. This is going to be where you enter in your information, click on done, and that is going to conclude this tutorial. So that is how you can start an LLC with Northwest Registered Agent. I hope that this helped you out when it comes to giving you guidance and even saving you money in the process. If you had watched this video just to see how it works and you'd like to actually follow along now, don't forget to click that link in the description of the pinned comment so you can get taken to this unique page where you can get your LLC for only $39 today. My name is James. Thank you so much for watching and enjoy.